Cringe level 10 achieved.
That was pretty smooth sitting down for dramatic effect. Hey there, Papper people. We're back for Pillow Talk Part 2. Now, this video is all about me leaning in and saying, I probably shouldn't tell you this, but... And whenever someone does that, you know it's going to be good. That's what this is going to be. This is all the insider stuff I probably shouldn't tell you from Sleep 2025 in Seattle. So let's start up. And first thing, someone was giving me a bunch of shit about the number of pillows I have because I called it Pillow Talk. Look, one of these guys is allocated for between my knees. Bad day to be a pillow. But if my knees touch at night, like they're so bony, it keeps me up. So I got to throw a pillow there. Anyway, let's get started. So I have some awards. They're just like loosely awards. So number one, best overall product that I nerd out on. First, I have to do a disclaimer. Portable battery, the guy Rob Brandt from Portable Battery, great guy. His wife is amazing.
Thanks.
I spent a lot of time with him, super fun. He's like, I want to bring you out here. I bring you out here, no strings attached. I have to disqualify you. I'm sorry, it had to be done. So I nerd out big time on batteries. I love batteries. I have since I was a kid. If it recharges, I love it. I don't know. There's something about it. It's like a fetish. I don't know. Portable battery, I can and will nerd out on all day. I love that stuff. So hate me for it, whatever. The other one is Muse. Now Muse, best overall product. This is going to be interesting. I'm going to be mentioning them later, but anything with EEG, brain activity, I just love. I think it's fascinating. And if you can put this in the palm of someone's hand, just us regular everyday users, I nerd out on it. Okay, the award at worst at being sneaky. Wesper, you guys suck. One, you put my fat ass face on the front page of your website and you're calling it an in-lab sleep test when actually it's my old type 2 home sleep study. So you're a big company doing type 3 studies and you're misrepresenting everything on your webpage. Like, that's so freaking stupid. You guys are terrible at being sneaky. Be sneaky, but at least be good at it.
We can.
All right, the most sincere companies there. Number one was iNap. Now, I've met Olivier like one time. I did an interview with him. Other than that, it's just been emails. But when I saw him, like the friendliest guy ever, I think we hugged. I think we hugged. But the rest of the staff there was fantastic. They're super friendly. They're no corporate vibes at all. They're just nice people and they're there to answer questions. And he even told me about this epiphany he had. He's like, I have to kind of wrap my head around, there's all kinds of solutions out there. You just have to find the right solution for you. And I'm okay with that. It was like the most honest conversation ever. It was awesome. And I'm like, dude, iNap's like really good. And if you personally haven't tried iNap, iNap's worth it if you have like low AHI, higher RDI, I would definitely give iNap a try. So those are some of the people that would normally try mandibular advancement. I'd probably skip that and actually go to iNap first. You have no risk of TMJ problems. So just my 2 cents there. Also, most sincere, portable outlet, but again, sorry, disqualified. Again, thanks for the trip though, it's really fun.
Sure. So
The other is Snore Less Now. You can see it in that video. That's just an oral appliance. It's like an over-the-counter boil and bite. Those dudes were so nice, super welcoming. Can I do a video? Hit record now, I'm ready to go. They were like that, it was awesome.
This is whether you're a very large man, very small woman.
Hey, what about us?
Okay, the most shifty corporate vibes, I have to say Inspire. Talk about a major rooster block the entire day. Going back, like I understand there were some scheduling things. The guy was super busy. I wasn't trying to make it sound like they were bad at all. They were perfectly fine. I just found it very weird. Like, no, you can only talk to our head researcher. Why can't I talk to the team of 20 other people here in hella nice suits that are speaking to everyone else? I can't talk to them and do a recording, even not recorded? No one will talk to me? Freaking weird, so weird. And then the other one that's the blending of this is gonna be so seamless, you're gonna be impressed. ResMed did the same kind of thing. Amy, I go up to this lady, Amy. Amy's like the one. Hey, talk to Amy. If you wanna interview anyone at ResMed, talk to Amy. Amy will clear the way. Amy, can we do this? I will check and I will be back. Come back in a half hour. Came back in a half hour, nothing. Next day, nothing. Oh, Amy's here, but she's not here. Where the hell's Amy? I don't know. Where are you, Amy? Amy never showed up again. So I kept going back and they kept getting more and more snarky. Not snarky, just kind of like,
Dude, really? You're gonna keep coming back? You're really just gonna keep coming back to our booth over and over again?
and they've got all their black polos with the white writing. And then out of the corner of my eye, I see these three guys kind of coming around. They're coming around the back, trying to flank me. And I'm like, fuck no, you're not flanking me. So I make eye contact with them and I kind of do that like, don't even think about it. I gave them one of those looks, even though I'm like hella scared. Like I'm getting flanked by these ResMed goons. They're gonna try to rough me up, take me out of the conference, rough me up a little bit, make an example of me. So I'm like listening to what this lady's saying as they're swinging around the backside. And then finally I look over and he's like staring at me. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, are you serious? So then like I finished up with the lady and I was kind of like, what? And that led into the next interaction, which was the coolest YouTuber meeting that I've never met before. It was Tristan. So Tristan does these videos for CPAP. Oh crap, I'm gonna mess it up. CPAPstore.canada. So the CPAP store, Tristan does these videos for him. As soon as I saw him, I recognized him. I was like, oh my God. And they're like, are you the lanky lefty? And I was like, I am the lanky lefty. So we chatted a little bit. It was Stuart, the owner, Tristan, and then sidekick. Dude, I can't remember your name. I'm so sorry. I think it was Clarence or Chauncey or Lawrence or Ben, something like that. Anyway, all super nice guys. Really, really fun. Okay, coolest staff ever. So keep in mind, my head's getting pretty big at this point. A lot of rejection, but then when someone like, are you the lanky lefty? I'm like, oh, well, yes, I am. Where shall I sign? So I go into the Fisher and Paykel booth and I made an ass of myself there. I'm looking at these like this, it looks like a nasal cannula, but hella big. So I'm like, oh my God, is this some new CPAP interface? Have I missed this one? And I'm like, what is this thing? And this is, earlier on I referenced the tall glass of water. This dude's hella tall. He's like 6'10" maybe, if he's bent down and hunched over. Dude's hella tall. And he's like, may I help you with whatever? I'm like, is this like a new CPAP mask? Oh no, that's like for just basically enhanced humidification. So that's for this patient that gives me the whole rundown. Then he goes, hey, are you the lanky lefty 27? And I'm like, I am. And he goes, oh, that's awesome. Hey, he starts calling people over. Hey, Steve, check out this guy. I don't know if there was a Steve. And they're like, oh my God, lanky lefty. And then some other dude goes, oh, dude, is that? And they start calling people over. And this one guy gets a selfie with me. That was freaking awesome. They're just talking to me. We're talking about basketball and just like playing basketball. And I was like, dude, I didn't get an invite. They went to like 24-hour fitness and didn't invite me. Then one of the dudes, like when we're talking about basketball, he catches me off guard. He's like, hey man, what style do you play? And I'm like, basketball? Yeah, what style? Like, how do you play? Like, I don't know. I just kind of go to the open area, like shoot if I need to shoot, or I drive if I need to drive. You shoot from anywhere? I mean, yeah, if I'm open. You like to drive? Yeah. You post up? I felt like he was trying to break apart my game. So then like one of the dudes, it's like the manager comes over and he's like, oh, hey, I love your videos. Hey, and he's like, you didn't like the solo mask? And so I was like, oh, I like this version of the solo, just not this version of the solo. He's like, oh, that's fair point. And then we start talking about the local rep and they're just so cool. He's like actually genuinely interested in, oh, that mask didn't work. Well, why didn't it work? Oh, okay, that's interesting feedback. It wasn't like, oh, well, you're putting it on wrong. Oh, maybe you have the wrong size. It was just assumed everything was done right. And hey, you just have a different preference and that was your experience. Interesting, I will take that under advisement. They did it like that. It was so perfect. Anyway, by far the coolest staff, Fisher and Paykel, hands down. But then they had a ton of people at React Health that were just super friendly. Now I have to, again, coolest staff, Knox. Now I use their home sleep testing equipment. I know about 3 people that work there now. So they're just cool, I think, because they know me, but their product is phenomenal if you know, you're opening a sleep lab. All right, most approachable people. The Cricket K-PAP booth was hopping. That was by far the best booth, easily. And they were so friendly. When you walk in, there was someone to greet you. Hey, come on in, try this device, try K-PAP, try it out. It was seamless. They had a bunch of little stations. They had a spot where it was very approachable. I'll just leave it at that. Also approachable were the people at Project Sleep. Now that is that advocacy. So You guys may actually really enjoy them. They have that free helpline. You can call like pretty much anytime. They have people on staff to just help you with any sleep related question. So phenomenal resource. Check out Project Sleep for that. But they were so warm, so welcoming, so open to being interviewed and sharing information. Great group of people. Maybe you saw the video on them, maybe you missed it. And then I had to disqualify iNap and Portable Outlet on that. They're also super approachable, but I'm sorry, you had to be DQ'd. All right, now the Go Fuck Yourself award, in like, it has to go with Muse. So Muse is that EEG headband. So I sent out interview requests. Can I interview you? Very fast, comes back with, yes, I would love to do an interview. Come by my thing tomorrow. You can interview me. So I go there and it's like, the lady that I actually interviewed, the founder, Ariel, is like, yeah, basically come back. Come back later. Okay, the poster hall is here. Clearly I'm not ready. Come back. Oh, when should I come back? Afternoon? Okay, so if I come back at like 12:15, that works okay for you? I don't know. Is that afternoon? So I was like, oh shit. Okay, well, I guess we're doing that today. So I kept coming back and it'd be like, she was always talking to someone. You could tell that the employees at the booth are like, she's kind of being rude a little bit. Keeps ignoring me. And then finally I go back on the last day. I keep missing her. Not missing her, she's there. She's looking me in the eye like, yeah, I'm already talking to someone, so sorry. So I'm like, what the hell? So I finally get up there and I'm like, okay, we're gonna do the interview, great. And then she just starts talking to someone else again. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry, I promised this other guy, me, would do the interview with him. And then goes talk to someone else. I'm just like, God damn, you gotta be kidding me. So then like, I finally am about to talk to her and she goes, we're recording.
Hold on.
Yeah.
How long is this gonna be?
Once we got started, she was super friendly. It was great, but you don't get all that on camera or through the interview at all. Yeah, Muse is pretty much like, go piss off. They don't care. Now, the coolest guys that had absolutely nobody at their booth, you can see him in the background with no one at their booth. There's this guy who was a former DJ. I talked to him for a while about what the company did. And it's like some staffing agency. So it's like, oh yeah, there's probably not people gonna show up. That's not like the most exciting thing. Hella nice guy. Then the other dude, like these conferences are crazy. Like if you wanna have carpet, you have to pay like $300 per section of carpet. If you wanna have power, you have to pay like $300 just to have a power outlet. So this dude was like running a cable from one of the outlets and like stealing power, which was ironic because he was a couple booths away from the portable outlet. Like you think he could have figured something out there, buddy, huh? So he's stealing power, and every time I walk by, I'm giving him so much crap about it. Like, hey, you stealing power? Because like they kept having these people, the employees of the Seattle Convention Center, like, hey, you're stealing power. You paying your $300? And he's like, oh, gee, I didn't know. He's like feigning ignorance. It's hella funny, but they're the funniest dudes. No one was at their booth. Now that leads me to the best booth that wasn't even there, and that's cpapsupplies.com. Remember, Lefty Summer gets you 25% off your order at cpapsupplies.com. Lego Man was there. He can tell you. Oh, hi, Jason. We weren't at the booth, but we do sell lots of CPAP equipment and supplies. So head on over to cpapsupplies.com, Lefty Summer, and buy yourself a mask or accessory. This might be one of my favorites. I just call it the sitcom booth because there is a crusty old dude. I go up there and I'm like, can I interview someone about this prosomnus? And he's just like, I have an image of him. I'll show him right now. The crustiest dude you'll ever imagine. He's like, well, who wants to know? One of those guys are always wearing a suit and they look pressed, but in your head, you're like, you just wear underwear and a stained t-shirt at home all the time. Like, you're not fooling me. Even though they're in a suit, you see them in underwear and like old man draws. I think his name was Jerry, Gerald, or like Peter or something. I don't remember, but he's like the vice president. And I'm like, can I interview you about this? And he's like, oh, I don't think so. You have to call Heather. You have to call Heather and Heather will let us know. So I go and I call this lady, doesn't call back. I call again, doesn't call back. Keep in mind, I already sent emails and called like 2 weeks before and heard nothing. I'm like, forget that. So I go back to the booth. The dude's like eyeballing me like, who the hell are you? And then I finally talked to this one lady that's like, she kind of reminded me of the mom from American Pie. Like you could tell she's like a party mom. Super funny. And there's strife. there is definitely strife. So you have the old grandpa, which is like the Peter, Jerry, Gerald guy. And then you have the party girl, which was, I'm just gonna call her E. I totally remember her name. E was like, oh my God, these fucking people I gotta hang out with. And then there's Janice, who actually did the interview. And Janice is like, she knows. The other ones are like, she's so annoying, freaking Janice. Of course Janice is gonna do the interview. Christ. Janice always, she loves to be on camera. And Janice is like, yeah, I know they do that. I just don't give a shit because I'm that person. Janice was so awesome. So there's this like internal turmoil. Yet you can all, they like each other, I think. But it was just, watching it was like a sitcom all day long. Freaking hilarious. But Persomnus, I totally want to get one of those made, so call me. All right, we have the most awkward former coworker interaction. So two of my friends, there's three people. Two of my friends come up and like, oh my God, Jason, hey, what's up? What's up? Hey, all right. Well, what's up? What's your name? And he goes, dude, I'm Martin. And I was like, oh shit, we've worked together. I remember you. Very awkward. Yeah, sorry, Martin. I do remember you. You just, honestly, your shirt was hella loud. You know what I mean? It had like weird pictures on it. Threw me off. And you looked a little different. Sorry. And here's the other thing. One of the other coworkers, Julia, she was like, Jason, I'm way better than the ISR. It's the inner score reliability test. She thinks she can smoke me at the test. You know what, Julia? That's a freaking lie. I dog you at the ISR, but I will tell you this. If your scores are better, which I doubt they are, but if they are, it's because you're scoring post-arousal central apneas, which we all know shouldn't be scored. You're just brown nosing the AASM. I refuse to do that. I'm scoring it the way it should be scored. So let the man keep his boot on your neck if you're cool with that. You get your higher scores. Bravo, Julia. Bravo. Okay, most brutally honest, kind of scary interaction. I'm just gonna call him the Shadow Man or Mr. X. So Mr. X, ooh, I'm gonna have to do a video on this later, but he had some insight as to the entire state of the industry, and it was actually terrifying to me. And I was like, I think this guy's right. So let me know if you want me to do a video on Mr. X. I will 100% do that. And then biggest regretted recording that I missed is actually the Fisher and Paykel guys. I kind of mentioned that in my last video. They were just so cool. And I didn't really go over any of their products, which I should have. But I've done exhaustive videos of them, so maybe it was just redundant. Probably best I missed them, but they were such a cool group of dudes. All right, now, coolest doctor by far there was Dr. Richard Berry. Now, Richard Berry, I had an old medical director. His name's Kapil Dewan, Dr. Dewan. Super nice guy. Consider him a friend. So the whole time he's always like, oh, Dr. Berry, during my residency or my fellowship, Dr. Berry. Now, Dr. Berry is like he's world renowned. He is a researcher. Great guy, super smart. So I wanted to introduce myself to him and say, hey, Dr. Berry, I know Kapil, do you know him? That's what I was gonna say. But as I walked up, he has these little glasses on. And as I come up, he goes, oh my gosh, it's the Lanky Lefty. And I was like, you know who I am? He's like, oh, of course I do. It was so funny. He was like Colonel Sanders in an MD form. It was amazing. So I had a great talk with him. He was super nice. He is on board with Oscar, let me tell you. Dr. Berry thinks everyone should be using Oscar. He's like, if you're not using Oscar, you should be. It's great to have a guy like that kind of on our side. Okay, now I had two really awkward interactions aside from the coworkers. So one, I have to set this up just a little bit. There's a place called Wakix. I think it was a medication for narcolepsy. They have cannolis, random, and then these smoothies are like green tea smoothies. Really good. So I grabbed some of those. I snarfed down the cannoli. So I'm eating that and I'm walking by and I'm like, oh, Takata or whatever. It's like a pharmaceutical company. And I'm like, what is this? And she's like, oh, it's pharmacy, whatever. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, what do you do there? So she's like really young looking. I'm like, oh, well, what do you do there? Like, you honestly look like you need your work permit. I didn't say that, but in my head, I'm like that. And she says, oh, I talked to the research team and whatever, and I'm like, oh, so you're like a physician liaison? So like, you speak nerd for all the physicians? I actually said that. Oh, so you speak nerd for all the physicians? You make it so everyone can understand each other? You're like the switch in the middle, the middleman? And she goes, no, actually I'm a doctor. I'm like, oh, you are? Oh, I'm sorry, you look too young. And she goes, I'm 32. I was like, oh. Man, you should try those smoothies over there. They're really good. And I buggered the F out of there. Okay, now, so keep in mind, here's my next interaction that was like super awkward, very embarrassing. I'm doing a narcolepsy interview with someone. Now, this person is the head of Project Sleep, right? They wrote a book on narcolepsy. I didn't know that at the time, but wrote a book on narcolepsy. I find out, I think, in the interview. So I'm just coming off of these interactions. Fisher and Paykel, like, oh my God, let's get a selfie with Lanky Lefty. The three guys I thought were with ResMed that were actually from CPAPstore.com and have their own YouTube channel. And they're like, oh dude, Lanky Lefty, that's freaking awesome. Then I have Dr. Barry, who's like, oh my God, the Lanky Lefty. So I'm like, I'm feeling pretty full of myself. Oh, and even the people at the Project Sleep, they're like, oh my God, I'm Lanky Lefty and Perry. So I'm like, I'm feeling it. So I'm doing the interview. It's kind of ending, and I hear someone out of the corner of my eye go, oh my God, I want to get a selfie with them and introduce myself. I'm like, line forms right there, ma'am. So then as soon as it ends, I turn and she runs up to the lady I'm interviewing, gives her a hug. I'm such a big fan, it's so great. And then she hands me her phone. Can you take a selfie of us, please? It was just really funny. I don't think anyone else felt my pain, but in my head, it was there. It was very awkward. So really the best, if I had to like disqualify everyone that I needed to disqualify, really the best overall booth was the K-PAP cricket booth. They had the interaction area where there were like doctors doing presentations. You had the 3 booths around the outside where they were doing demos. Then they had research posters up. It was just really well designed. They had a bunch of like high-powered doctors. So they have a bunch of high-powered doctors that are very like doing their thing, but then they have underneath it all, they have the female staff that's actually the glue holding this from becoming a complete shit show. It could have been that way, but they're making stuff happen. And the girls that were manning it, they were manning it. That's ironic. The girls that were running it, like really running it, you know who you are. We're doing a great job. It was funny to see. And then, okay, I will say the portable outlet, yes, they flew me out there. Their booth is actually really cool. He has a great demo. Like you saw the demo if you saw the video of how their product works. If you want to get an uninterruptible power supply for your CPAP, if you have stuff that goes out, great battery option. You can also, really small to pack on airplanes, in your baggage, in a backpack if you're camping. Just a good option. Just keep it in mind. Last question. Do you want me to do this interview with the Shadow Man, Mr. X, about the state of sleep medicine? I think it would be fun. Or I can just summarize it on my own. Your choice. Let me know a couple things. Shall I change the name of my channel from the Lanky Lefty to something else? I've already seen some replies on that. Also, should I go to the next sleep meeting? I haven't been to a sleep meeting in forever, but did you guys like this kind of stuff where I'm showing you products, talking to people? Is it worthwhile? Shall I do it again? Let me know in the comments section. I really do appreciate it. And I appreciate you watching this video. If you want to have a PAP therapy analysis with me, check it out, AXG, sleepdiagnostics.com. And if your mask smells just as bad as I think it does, maybe pick up some Mask Bright from Amazon. Thanks for watching. Bye. And time for an extra thick thanks, buddy, to my top-level supporters, Doug Toombs, Jason Georgiades, Patricia Espelong, Stuart Hetherington, Alan Liu, Edward Steiner, and I'd like to say thank you also to these people, as well as those other people. Up the ante, you get a shout-out. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Barely even on screen, but still appreciate the support.